What's up, guys? It's your boy TPP, and I'm back with that true crime talk, baby. Let's go. But before we do that, do me a huge favor, massive favor. Smash that like for me, and if you haven't already, can you smash that subscribe, whatever side it's on, one of those sides. Super easy to do, absolutely free, and you help me out big time. And I do look at my analytics, and I noticed that about 60% of my viewers are unsubscribed. So I don't know what's going on, guys. Just hit the button. What are you waiting for? It's free. Get to see me every day. It's free. All right, let's jump into the topic. All right, topic for this video, guys, is we got another day of that Scot Peterson trial, that Broward Coward trial. And let me tell you, this trial is not getting any easier to listen to. It is absolutely getting worse. It's getting worse as far as what you have to hear during it and the emotions. I mean, because if you guys are like me, you know what I mean? If you have empathy, you know what I mean? And you're watching people on that stand tell these stories and you're watching them get emotional, you put yourself in their position and it's rough. It's absolutely rough. And then if any of you guys have kids like I do, you start thinking about like your kids, you know what I mean, in those situations. And it's absolutely heart-wrenching. It's absolutely heart-wrenching. And what it ends up doing is it just makes you more infuriated by the inaction of Mr. Peterson. And there's no way around it. There's no way around it. And like I said, I started this trial off, without judgment at all. I was like, I'm not gonna judge this dude. I see a lot of people running this dude down in the media and different articles, and I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be impartial. I'm gonna roll into this open-minded, see where it goes. You just can't. You're gonna be upset. There's no way around it. Absolutely no way around it. Like, the details and the emotions that come out are just, I don't know, man. It leaves me at a loss for words, to be honest with you. So like when I said in the last video, be glad I'm covering it for y'all, and you guys can just come in and get the little, rundown on what's going on. Trust me, be glad you're not listening to this, dude, because it's rough. You leave the trial every day with this insane sense of heartache, and remorse for all the victims and the families and everybody involved. But what also happens is you have this anger. It's like this, I don't know if it's a guy thing. I don't know if women experience the same way, but it's like, I know every, man of any type of worth put in that same situation is going in. We going in. We know that shooters in the building, we have a gun, we've been trained. Shit, even most of us, even without the training, we're strapped up, we're going in. So it leaves you just pissed. I'll be honest with you, just 100% pissed off. It's like, how as a trained officer, like, you're literally trained to do this, right? I mean, this is what you're trained for, to go into the gunfire, to eliminate the threat. And this man did it. I'm going to call it code red. That's all I'm going to do. Shooters in that building, third floor. I know where he is. I told everybody. We got witnesses saying he's told everybody. He knew where the guy was, but he chose not to go in. It does. It just pisses you off, man. It just, there's no way around it. And then today, it's like the details started getting even worse, because we got to hear details of the autopsy. We started towards the end of the day. We started hearing details of the autopsies, and it was bad, because one of the victims, the gentleman is on the stand explaining what he found, injury-wise from the gun wounds and this and that. And, he was asked, were they passed away? Were they died quick? And the gentleman, on the stand, he's like, yeah, fairly quick, these kind of injuries, multiple gunshots, blood loss, this and that. And they're all like, can you give us an estimate of how quick? And he said 5 minutes. Bro, 5 minutes is eternity. 5 minutes while you're bleeding out, hearing screams from children, gunfire. Bro, 5 minutes that is not quick. That is not quick. Yo, when he said that, dude, it just like basically took the last days of trial and amplified all the emotions. It amplified all the emotions I was already feeling in this trial to another level. It's like, can you imagine that? I mean, none of us could. I mean, could you just imagine being stuck in that building, not armed, no way to do anything, and hearing that chaos go on, hearing them children scream, right? But now, not only is that happening, you're literally bleeding to death in excruciating pain for 5 minutes. Yo, man, I'm telling you what, those details right there really got me today. Those. Whew, I'll tell you what, man. I didn't cry. Prove it. Shut up. But anyways, dude. Yeah, man, it's a rough one. So be glad you guys are watching this trial. If you're coming in and watching my updates, getting the rundown, be glad you're not watching this trial. It's a lot. Especially if you're a sensitive person, if you have a lot of empathy, you're an empath, you feel people's pain, this is a rough one to watch. So, I mean, by all means, if you want to go rewatch it, go for it. But I don't recommend it. I really don't. Honestly, after today, I started questioning why I decided to cover this trial. You know what I mean? I was like, why did I cover this one? Because I'm trying to cover this one and Melly's trial at the same time. So I'm having to do a lot of jumping over, 2x speed, hearing all the details, back and forth. And it's a lot of work. And going from Peterson's trial to Melly's trial, it's like night and day difference, man. It's two different situations. So anyways, I digress on that, man. It's I'm going to go ahead and touch on the other thing. It just keeps pissing me off too. Is I understand his defense team doesn't have a lot. They don't have a lot to defend him on, right? But what they're doing is they're using this feeble ass attempt to make him look heroic by when they're questioning people that worked with him, that on a daily. His defense team's all, did you see him break up fights? Oh, yes, we saw him break up fights. Did he ever wait for any backup, or did he just jump in there by himself to break up fights? Oh, he would go ahead and jump in there and break it up. I don't give a shit, bro, about him breaking up fights between teenagers. This man's like 6'2 plus. He's a big dude. He's trained, and he's strapped too, right? So you got a law enforcement officer who's strapped breaking up teenagers. And not hard. Jolly Green Giant with the freaking 9 breaking up some teenager squabble. That ain't hard. That doesn't make him heroic at all. That's not going to overshadow what he did. Come on, miss me with that. So hearing that defense attorney today use that again, he's used it on other days of this trial. Hearing him use that again after, it's just too much, man. I don't know, guys. It's a lot. But I'm going to say this. After hearing everything I've heard so far, and the judge is saying the trial should be wrapping up pretty quick here, like they're way ahead of schedule, which I'm glad, because I'm glad I don't have to keep listening to this over and over and over. It's redundant heartbreak is what it is. It's emotional strain. So I'm glad to hear that it's almost over. But it just, man, it's so crazy. Can you believe that? Like, legit. Like, you're going to try to use this man breaking up fights between teenagers to overshadow his cowardice. What? Are you serious? Get out of here with that, man. Get out of here. It's ridiculous. But, yeah, guys. I'm going to predict, though, 2 to 3 hours max on deliberation, and he's going to get hit with guilty across the board. Guilty verdicts across the board, all charges, all counts, whatever, guilty. That's it. 2 to 3 hours max. That's what I'm ballparking. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, guys. There's not too much really else to talk about. There's just a lot of redundant, heartbreaking details, and I feel like I covered enough already. So let me know what you guys think about what I've talked about. You know what I mean? And if some of you are watching the trial, let me know what your thoughts are, how you guys are feeling about it. You know me, like, this is part of the why I do these videos, is because I like to have the conversation on cases and trials, and you know, with the rest of my true crime addicts, and it's always great conversations. You guys are awesome. So that being said, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up, and I'll be on to the next video. You know how that goes. But it's your boy, the Piscine Predator. Until that next video, y'all, much love. I'm out. Peace.